So hello you wonderful humans of the internet, and welcome to a really quite important video. Whenever I have something really important that I need to say, I prefer to write it down, even when it's to my mom. If I have something important to say to my mom, I write her a letter, and to you guys I have something really important to say and to apologise for today, so I wanted to write you a letter too. So here goes. I need to say a huge apology for the fact that in 2018 I said the N-word in the context of quoted song lyrics, which I never ever should have done. When people first mentioned that I'd said the N-word, I was really baffled, as I know I have never in my life said that word to or about anyone ever, unless it was in the context of reported speech or lyrics. So that's what the clip that's going around is. I quoted a line of rap lyrics that included an N-bomb, and obviously there's further context to that clip, but all that matters here is that I never should have said that word, and I deeply apologise to all black people for using a word that was never mine to say. Sadly, at the time, I believed reported speech was acceptable use. When it came to the N-word, it's not. I'd seen a Chris Rock sketch back in the 90s, which I can't even find online now. I get the feeling he no longer stands behind this either. But at that time, he had a sketch about white people rapping along to songs with N-words in them, and his verdict was that it was just silly to hear white people mumbling bits of angry songs. So if it's in the song, he said, just sing it, don't be weird about it, never throw in your own N-bombs, never use them in your own speech, but if the N-bomb is in the song, that's okay. So that became my stance, compounded by the UK media of that era's policy on N-words in reported speech. If our papers or radio are reporting racist abuse, they would generally read out the N-words in full, even if the reporter was white. Thankfully, I think this outdated stance is finally changing this year after a black journalist brought it to the nation's attention. So we are finally catching up with our media, but unfortunately back in 2018, I and most of England still believed that reported use of the N-word was okay. So to my fellow white people, I would like to say reported speech is not okay. Times change and continue to change. I mean, when I was young, people of colour hadn't even become the polite way to address someone. It was still coloured, which obviously has become an outdated, offensive thing to say, even just within my lifetime. You've got to be flexible with the things you say and always be ready to listen to black, POC and other minority voices when it comes to words that they don't feel comfortable with us using and things they don't feel comfortable with us saying. Ultimately, they are their words, and they should be the ultimate judge and jury on how we use or don't use those words. Over the years, I have segued away from the reported speech is okay stance, so I was really blindsided by that clip. I had no memory of making such a completely ignorant video, so I'd like to say a huge thank you for drawing my attention to the fact I had such outdated, offensive content on my channel, which I definitely no longer stand behind and have removed now. I'm deeply sorry to all black people hurt by my use of a word that never should have passed my lips, and I'm grateful that I know better today. I hope you can forgive my ignorance, but I totally understand if you can't. Finally, I need to address the white people. Not all of you by far, but some. Because this clip was not brought to my attention by a well-meaning viewer, but by largely white people who attempted to weaponize race issues to get their own far more minor issues talked about. I've stated on Instagram that I have no further desire to talk about these people or about their forum, so I'm not going to, but you know who you are. And if you are one of the white people who knowingly utilised black issues as a stepping stone to get your own white voice heard, that is not okay. And you too need to take a long look in the mirror today and hopefully do better tomorrow. So with all of that said, I am so sorry to all black people and people of colour for what I said. Please know it will never happen again. I understand now that reported speech is not okay. To all white people, please understand that this is an apology for the black community, and it is ultimately not you who gets to accept or reject my words. All I can hope for the white folk here is the same as I hope for myself, in being better educated on the issue of reported speech, and that even their N-words should not be used by us. Finally, white people, please allow black voices to come through in the comments here, rather than using this space as a negotiating platform for irrelevant drama issues. This is not your space today. Please remember to be kind to everyone in the comments, and I hope we can all move on from here better educated and with the air cleared to have a happy Christmas and New Year. Thanks for listening if you made it this far. Once again, black people, I am so freaking sorry for my ignorance, and I will do my absolute best to be a better ally in future. So thank you for listening. That's everything I wanted to say. I apologise if it's kind of a bit robotic reading it, but I am so bad with conflict and stuff like that. It makes me garble even more, and we would have been here for 5 hours. So I had to write it down, and hopefully that, I don't know, yeah, gets kind of my learning process that I was really ignorant about these things back in 2018, and I hadn't updated myself on the stance in the world that, like, no, even when it's reported speech, that's still not okay. And I now know that, and that's now what I stick by. So never will another N-word pass my lips. So thank you for listening. Happy Christmas. Over and out.